too.
All right, we're cooking with fucking Crisco, bitch.
Crisco, bitch.
Crisco, bitch.
Crisco, bitch.
Crisco, fucking Crisco, bitch. Oh, is this one off?
I turned it off.
Okay.
On here. I don't know if it's going to track into your DAW because we didn't really mess with that.
What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
Film,
business, music, art,
Technology.
Podcasting from Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's backstage at 10 Crow Studios.
Okay, this sounds good, I think.
Does it? How do I sound?
You sound nice. I kind of like the whole off with these mics, like sort of off axis kind of sounds a little bit warmer.
Oh yeah, let me. Hello. Ooh. Ooh. That does sound warmer. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so
10 Crow Studios, man.
Yeah. Joe Tracey from Orion Studios in Baltimore.
Baltimore, Charm City.
You know, man, I got to say, I really appreciate you coming down here and taking the time to kind of work through the shit, especially with this room in particular.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. It's fun. I enjoy this stuff, you know. And this is cool. This is a really cool spot, you know.
Yeah, man, it's going to get fucking cooler because we're going to put a bunch more crows on the ceiling. I got to put shit in here to help with the sound absorption.
Right.
So, you know, we're going to put some more crows on the ceiling. This wall over here is going to be like a textured, backlit, fancy looking thing. We're going to have a big ass TV there. So like anybody that wants to podcast here, they can put their logo or their business shit up there.
Oh, yeah, versatility. Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, and then we got plugs up here too, so like even if you're shooting from this angle, you know, people can, if they got a lit up sign or something they want to hang up, they can put that there and plug it in.
Okay.
So we got a lot of big plans for this place, man. I mean, we've only been open a couple months, but dude.
The crows, I'm imagining now on the ceiling. You're going to have a light over each one. It'd be like a whole murder of crows.
That's it.
It'd be a whole
maybe
murder.
Maybe 10.
The
10
murder
crows.
ceiling.
So tell us about your studio, man. That place sounds like the shit.
Orion is many things. We're located in like south western Baltimore, right by BWI. Very easy to get to.
Nice.
The main thing that Orion is, there's a rehearsal facility. So what we offer is like 24-hour access. We have 50 monthly rooms. Bands have access 24 hours. It's business owned. You can be as loud as you want. There's, you know, bathrooms. You can't live there. You cannot live there. But
Do you go and check?
no,
Like to see if anybody's living there?
well, we kind of, you know, we know, we all know each other. It's not. Sometimes, you know, it's a good situation. There's a lot of good people there.
That's good.
A lot of great bands, good groups, and we try to keep a, you know, open conversation.
And you guys have like a stage area too, right?
Yeah. So we have a performance area. We call it the showcase room, and we can do like, you know, music videos. We can do we do a lot of hourly rehearsals in there, 4-hour blocks. Bands will set up on the floor. We've had bands that come in and they're on tour. We had Michael Schenker.
Nice.
Yeah, from he was like, I think he was on the first Scorpions album.
Yeah.
And then oh man, I'm a big blank right now. I'm trying to remember the big band he was in. He'd be like, yeah. But anyway, he came and did the Michael Schenker Fest. So they sort of prepped for their tour at the studio for like 5 days. You know, brought all their stuff in. Sound guys come in. They set up like the headphone mixes, all the stuff that you can sort of prep to do before you actually go out, because every room is going to be different. So the whole idea is to control what you can control.
Yeah.
You know, and focus on that, and then just be prepared as you can for anything that can happen.
That's pretty fucking awesome, man. So you guys have like some pretty big folks that come through your place, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's different stuff all the time. We just had Amel and the Sniffers come through.
Nice.
Yeah, from Australia. And they were tuned with the Foo Fighters.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, they were great, man. They were a lot of fun.
And I guess Baltimore's like a big music. They got a pretty big music scene.
We do. It's very underground, but it's a very big, diverse music scene.
Yeah.
There's lots of places to play. There's stuff popping up. There's stuff coming down, but other things pop up. Since post-COVID now, there's a lot of like DIY places that are starting to do shows. There's a taco place in Hamden that does them like every month.
That's fucking cool, man.
Holy
That's
Frijoles. Shout out to
Holy Frijoles.
Yep. That's a lot of fun. Play pinball, video games, have some tacos, and listen to some fucking thrashing around crazy stuff.
That's cool, man. That sounds like a good time.
There's a record shop called the Wax Atlas that's starting to do a lot of DIY shows, and they do some crazy off the wall shit like ambient noise shows.
Damn.
Yeah, I took Chrissy to one once. She was terrified.
Was it like a bunch of theremins and just?
What's a lot of like synthesizers and people bringing their modular rigs or like it's anything.
Was that like that thing you brought down that one year when you came for Christmas?
Oh, that Micro Freak?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that could be a thing. You could do tons of it's always. I mean, there's people like banging on shit on the floor and they're doing stuff and.
That's fucking cool, man. That's I think that's one of the coolest things that's come out of the pandemic is. I don't know. It just feels like a lot of traditional things got more decentralized in a way.
I think you're right.
Or maybe people found that they don't fucking need permission.
I mean,
I guess you gotta get a business loan and shit, but.
Well, so in Baltimore during the pandemic, like, especially the city, like shut down.
Yeah.
DC shut down. Like all those restaurants, the venues, everything just like. So everybody had to change. They had to adapt. All the restaurants started doing like, deliveries or, you could just, pick up and take home and they'd have like windows that they put in, that weren't there before, just like, we need to change. And he even like allowed, like, you could order, we ordered sushi one day and we ordered sake with it. And they brought us sake and it was hot in like plastic containers.
Damn.
Like that you would put the rice in, but it's got hot sake in it. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like right to my doorstep. It's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I feel like it forced people into this creative mode, and of course the music scene was shut down during that time. So like people were just like, once they did start having shows, like people that wouldn't normally go out and see a live band were just like starving for human interaction.
What did you guys end up doing differently to survive that time?
Well, basically, we're on paper, we're a storage facility. We're a 24-hour storage facility.
Nice.
So the governor released a list of businesses exempt.
Oh, like essential.
Yeah, like, these types of businesses are allowed to operate. And so 24-hour storage facilities were on the list.
That's awesome.
So it was kind of like, well, I'm going to do this until somebody comes and shuts me down.
Do we need to cut this part out?
We would have, yeah, probably. We would have went out of business, But
I'll bleep it.
Well, no. I mean, to be fair, like
it'll be is it this thing?
Oh fuck!
It's this one. Yeah, that's it.
That's great.
I don't even remember what we were fucking. Oh yeah, what you guys did during the pandemic.
Yeah, so like we did like clean the hallways like pretty much every day. Lysol spray. We would clean the bathrooms every day.
Yeah.
People had to wear masks in the hall, and what a lot of bands did was they still kept the room because they couldn't do anything else, but they could create. So like bands had like their whole computer set up, and like the drummer would come in and lay a riff. And then he would leave, and then the guitar player would come the next day.
Oh, okay.
Fuck around with shit and do stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and everybody was real respectful, and key is to always pick a cleaner that has a nice odor, like a lemon scent, because people will.
It's inviting.
Well, they're like, I know you cleaned the hallway today. Thank you.
Because the smell.
Yeah, they're like, I can tell. Thanks for caring.
Fuck yeah.
Here's your rent money.
You know, speaking of cleaner, I just saw something the other day. It was talking about how Fabuloso was like killing people. Yeah.
Who's Fabuloso?
It's that really strong fucking. I think it's from Mexico.
Oh.
What? I guess I say that because it's got the Spanish name, like Fabuloso. So I just kind of deduced. The other one. Oh, man, these are so fucking corny.
This needs to be so far away from me right now because.
Yeah, but like there are bottles of that shit that were coming with fucking this bacteria that was killing people.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they just recalled like a shitload of it.
Well, I don't think we use that.
That's good.
Lysol lemon scent, all the way. Yeah, it was really weird, dude. I even bought a new drum kit when the thing started, like the soft open. They were allowing stuff, but like people had to wear masks and everything. People didn't care. They came in and rented the room. You know, drummers trying to play drums for 4 hours with a fucking mask on.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, he didn't care. He was
so they had to wear masks in the room by themselves.
I mean, at some point, it just became people's choice.
Oh, okay.
And
that makes sense.
There's a lot of people that still wear them around the city, you know, and it's not, you know, it's your prerogative. I mean, shit, when I went to the Philippines, we went to like Japan, one of the layovers.
Yeah.
There's people walk around with masks all the time.
Yeah, it's more common in Asia. Like when I was in China, if somebody wasn't feeling good, they were wearing a mask. Or pollution in that part of the city was like really fucking high. So
yeah,
a lot of people would just wear it for that. But
like India, you know.
Yeah, but it was no big deal. Like I feel like in America, shit's gotten really politicized. So you know, certain things, and I mean,
we're all a bunch of cowboys.
Yeah, and in a way, it's kind of true. Like
it is
to some extent.
No. I think you're right. But where was I going with this? I even bought a new drum kit because I was like,
Okay.
I thought we were going to have to Lysol the drum kit. And I'm like, it's going to ruin the wood. I had this old Pearl Export kit. So I actually moved it into the studio and we made it the studio kit. And then I bought this cheap, like, Pearl Roadshow. And we used that for like a couple of years. But that was why I did it, was because I was like, if we fucking put the Lysol, it's going to destroy it. And I like this drum set.
Nice.
You know? But, yeah, it's all good. In fact, the kit still lives.
Nice.
The Roadshow.
You guys rent it out?
Yeah. It's like, so if your band was to come and rehearse in the showcase room for 4 hours, currently the price is $100 for 4 hours. We give you up to 5 microphones. You know, we got a DI box. You can DI some keyboards in. You get used to this big 30 by 30 room.
Yeah.
With the 2 mains pointed at you because you're on the floor, and then a monitor for the drums, monitor for the singers, and it's gets used every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you can rent the drum kit. If the drummer doesn't want to bring his drums out of his basement, you can rent our drum kit for like $25.
I would love to get to a point like that here where we just got shit that people can rent.
Dude,
like instruments.
People are going to start showing up and they'll be like, hey man, I hear you're doing this thing and I got this drum kit. I'm not going to, you just take it.
That'd be fucking badass.
It would be great for me if you just took this drum kit because it's doing nothing right now. And I would feel good that the drum kit's there doing something.
But yeah, then we'd have a kit here that people could use. That, I mean, especially I guess if it's a newish band and they're not like set into certain particulars, they could just.
You ever watch a drummer set up his drum kit?
Takes a minute.
Takes a minute. Yeah. I mean, like if they're playing out a lot, these guys can do it pretty quick. But if there's a chance they can just go out and just play somebody else's kit and it's not a piece of shit,
yeah,
you know, they're like, oh yeah, I'll pay, $25. Good kit, lots of toms, lots of options.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we do the rehearsal room. We have a recording studio. It's got a Neve console in it. A V55 broadcast console came from Flux Studios and up in Lower Manhattan, New York.
That's badass.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. Lots of great preamps. The previous owner, Mike Potter, built this whole thing. Did an amazing job, and had a lot of good preamps in there. And I was like, how can I possibly make this better? And I'm like, wait, let's get a fucking Neve.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, it's such a great it's such a great piece of gear.
Is that Potter, the guy we were talking about?
Yeah, Mike
Outside?
Potter. Yeah,
That,
he's the guy that
Eclipse chasing and stuff?
He's the father of Orion Studios. Yeah, he built that thing. 1994.
Damn.
October of 1994. That's the date of the very first contract.
That was a good year for music.
I mean, yeah. There's a whole library of cassette tapes and VHS tapes and all kinds of media of like concerts that have been recorded there, you know, or like projects that he recorded in the studio and just backups of stuff. You know, he kept everything. So we have this massive library of amazing material. You know, we got some live performances from like Wishbone Ash.
That's fucking awesome.
I've gone through some of the DATs. There's some pretty cool stuff in there. Spock's Beard. I think we have some of their stuff. Porcupine Tree.
So you guys the biggest place in Baltimore for what you do?
Yeah, for the rehearsal studios, we're the largest in Maryland.
Damn.
Probably like multiple states surrounding, I'm guessing. I would love to know if that's fact or not, by the way.
What about DC
if anybody reads this or listens to this.
Yeah, just put it in the comments.
See, DC has some stuff, but it's not as big. For one, real estate costs a lot more in DC.
Yeah.
Baltimore, you know, we're a little more blue collar. So, you know, it's a little bit more affordable to do. Yeah, because you can't, you know. There is a place in DC called Seven Drum City. It's like Seven Drum City or 10 Drum City, something like that. And they're located, and they have a couple rooms and completely outfitted. Nice. But it's not a place that's good to like, you know, if you want to bring your whole drum kit there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the parking situation is not, you know, optimal for something like that. So they set their thing up completely different. But I hear they're doing real well. In fact, the website looks spectacular.
That's fucking awesome.
The rooms and stuff they got, yeah they look nice, real nice. But they don't do monthly rooms. It's only like hourly stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's other places around. I mean, honestly, like I never knew these places existed, you know, because I lived in, you know, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You know, southern central PA, like kind of out in the country. So if a band was going to jam out, it was like somebody's garage, somebody's basement.
Yeah, you're already
somebody's
out
living
there,
room.
like kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, nobody's going to bitch.
Yeah.
You know, or if the, you know, everybody was like, yeah, music, cool.
I guess it makes sense, yeah, especially if you're in a really populated area where you just don't have that kind of space or ability to just make noise like that.
Yeah, I mean, I moved to Baltimore, I think it was like 2004 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I started trying to get into bands and like, you know, went on Craigslist and MySpace.
Yeah.
Joined a band, you know, and they're hanging out and, you know, played with another band. They're in their house. And then these guys were like, yeah, come down to this address, you know. And I roll up to like this facility, and you know, it was a different situation. There was this one called Our House. It used to be like in the center of the city about. Mm-hmm. And basically they had rooms, but they also had a giant stage, and then around the stage there was like a bunch of closets. So the bands would actually rent the closet and store their gear in there, and then there'd be a sign-up sheet where you could like reserve time on the stage. So the band would say, all right, we have this slot of time. Let me take that.
I'm gonna hand that to you. So I'm gonna check this real quick while you're talking.
Did you start it again?
Good, yeah. Since I was over there.
Do I look silly?
You look really fucking silly. I'm just kidding. Man, it always feels weird, like, being on this side of the camera.
Yeah, it's one thing I'm not used to.
I know.
The audio thing is different, or, like, performing on stage is different. But this weirds me out a little bit, I gotta say.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, or this. I mean, it's just
the mentally. Intimate setting is...
Yeah. You want to kiss? You do.
No, thank you.
Did you change that?
No, man. Well, I mean, you push over and you can...
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is. Tracking.
Oh, it's not. No, it's an effect. I think we're in the effects.
Is that like rope? No, it's not.
Oh, let's go back. Yeah, see, these are sound bites. We got it right, everybody. Yeah, and we're back.
There's this stock one. It sounds like a fucking Well, you just hear it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah! Tonight on... Yeah.
It's good. I like that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, like, how you can just get your own custom shit on there.
And there's a bunch of slots over here that are open.
Yeah.
So you could, that intro
sure
you
it's
made,
like-
you could just slide that in there and just hit the button.
Oh, yeah, the intro, everybody hates it. But whatever, man. I just threw some shit together.
Send me the files. I'll hook you up. I'll make it sound real good. Like butter.
Butter. These aren't...
So
These Rode mics aren't bad. Little pod mics.
yeah, I think they're nice.
This was a whole kit, basically
All in one.
sponsored by Homes and Realty. Thank you very much.
The table too.
Yeah, actually the table too is an old antique door. I'm probably going to end up putting a bunch of the coins that I got when I was in the service in here.
Yeah, you could just throw them in here. Put a bunch of guitar picks in one.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you could change it out every month, man. You could do like little quadrants of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Halloween, get a bunch of like,
Get real crafty with it.
right, Valentine's Day, just a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
Little rubber dicks.
Yeah,
You know the ones you
that's
get in Vegas, like at every gas station?
The like lollipop cocks.
Lollycocks.
Lollycocks. Oh yeah, this show may not be family friendly. Don't
Yeah,
know if I
maybe.
mentioned that before.
Oh yeah, so
Tell
our
you what,
house.
man, that fucking CBD's got me on a different level.
Yeah?
brother.
Brother. No pain. All gain.
All gain, yeah, no pain.
Yeah, so our house, you'd rent these, you know, little lockers, keep all your stuff in there. You'd sign up, get time on the stage, and then when your time came, you'd come up, you'd unload all your gear, set it up on the stage, and practice for however many hours.
Yeah.
Load it back into the closet. Next band would come in, and it would do that. It was all like kind of open. It was a big roster sign-off sheet, and it worked.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of neat, man. There's a lot of, you know, creative ways to try to like play music because these are artists and they need that outlet. You know, a boxer needs a punching bag, a drummer needs a drum kit, and a room to play it in. You know,
Talking to you, I got the sense that it's primarily like rock, like or rock, or you know, something involving guitars, like not so much in the way of hip hop. Is that an accurate statement, or?
Well, we have some hip hop come through, but I mean, those guys don't generally need rooms like ours.
Yeah.
You know, we get a lot of. I mean, Baltimore is a rock town. That city we have a lot of death metal. We got a lot of punk. We have a thriving hardcore scene.
Yeah.
And everything in between. We don't have a lot of country, you know, and there is a lot of hip hop. You know, there's like EDM type stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool. You'll never, if you're into music and you live there, you will never get bored.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I seriously, I'd put money down on that.
I actually wonder if a place like yours, like how it would do down here in this, maybe closer to Wilmington, I guess, or New Bern.
Yeah, somewhere where it's populated and, you know, people need that option. It is cool, though, because what you get when you put something like that together, you start massing like a community of musicians.
That's kind of what we felt about this place, man, because people are like, oh, well, you know, who films around here? And it's like, dude, I'm telling you, they're here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's kind of like a build it and they will come sort of thing.
I mean, this feeds the scene.
Yeah.
You know,
at least up here in Jacksonville, like Wilmington's got plenty of stuff, which is actually great for us because we have the expertise and the support, you know, for shit that we do or may do
right
up here. So it's not like you're so far out of nowhere and the closest film related place that has like decades of experience is 6 hours away. I mean,
right. Yeah, I mean, if it's there, people are going to use it.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, and that alone, like, Because, you know, there's a lot of people like, man, I want to make something, and there's nothing around. So it's like, unless they really push hard for it, you know, you can just give up on it because the facility's just not available. Mm-hmm. You know, and this will bring out the artists in Jacksonville, I foresee. And you can start building a good community and have something to really, you know, push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've started doing some stuff like, I mean, again, we've only been open a couple months, but we did like a filmmakers meetup here. Mm-hmm. And we're going to try to do that at least twice a year. Or have at least, so Jacqueline and I, Jacqueline's the other owner, we're talking about maybe doing an event every quarter.
Okay.
That's something that's somewhat film related, just to support the community and give like a nexus point for people to get to know each other.
Yeah. It's great PR.
Yeah.
You know, and you're encouraging that type of stuff. So I think that's a great thing to do. You know, you could have like pitch parties.
Actually, yeah, we talked about doing this annual pitch fest.
Yeah.
So it's annual pitch fest where people that have ideas for a film or a show or something, like we would they could pitch it, and then we just kind of have a panel of folks that would judge, and the winner, we would basically fund their film and support the film.
Right.
You know, and help get it distributed.
Yeah, I mean, do they have like little film, like local film fest at all around here?
Yeah. So, I mean, Wilmington has Cucalores Film Festival. They just had a film festival up in Washington in October, and
see, that would be cool. You could
since
bring
that
it
time,
up there.
there's been like other little ones that have popped up. There was a horror film fest that First Cut sponsored. The Honeyheads did a Wilmington Underground Film Fest, which we had a music video on that.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, I mean, there's a pretty decent. It's like an underground scene. Like if you're not looking for it, you don't know it's here.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
I'm already interested. When do we begin?
But I mean, they film big shit out here. Like when I was going to UNCW and interning, like I interned at Screen Gems, and you know, we were there supporting Reprisal, which is on Hulu. Halloween Kills.
Okay, wow.
Was another one, and then there was the Georgetown Project, which is, fuck man, it just came out. It was with Russell Crowe.
Oh wow.
I think that I can't remember if that was the working
Russell
name.
Crowe.
They changed, Russell 10 Crowe. Maybe get Russell Crowe in here to talk.
Russell Crowe.
And just talk about crows.
Right. It'd be funny.
As a member of the Crow family, you know, what's the vibe here? He'd probably be like, right about now, fucking murder.
Untie me now.
I don't like this game. This is backwoods Onslow County, motherfucker.
Yeah, and you know what?
So it's probably good we weren't here when I entered on that.
Right. That place is pretty easy to get to, I noticed.
This place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right off of Piney Green, which is one of the main arteries in Jacksonville, even though technically it's in the county.
Right.
It's off the main road enough that you don't get all the main road noise.
Yeah, it's quiet back here. Beautiful sunsets.
But it's close enough that, you know, it's really fucking easy to get to in the town.
Yeah.
It does, you know, I've heard, though, that people sometimes feel a little bit sketchy at first because there's a lot of trailer parks on this road.
That's where the art is.
I agree, man.
You know?
I agree. There's a lot of fucking art around here.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully we tease it out in a positive way.
I have a theory, you know, Baltimore City gets a lot of bad press.
Yeah.
You know, we got pretty high murder rate. There's a lot of fucked up shit happening in the city. And I feel like that does feed the creative scene in a way. As people just yearn you know.
It makes sense, man. You know, because when you have drama in life, that's inevitably becomes drama in art. Like,
Right. It affects it, you know.
because it's a story, like, and it's interesting because it hits on something on an emotional or spiritual level. I mean, music does that too. Actually, that's one of the things I love about music, because I'll often, when I think about something I want to make, it's usually a song or something that has inspired me to envision. I guess that's how I listen to music. The way I listen to it is,
you picture it.
there's a music video playing, and that's But I guess that's kind of why, like, even though we kind of built this as a film studio, we obviously built this to also support music.
Yeah, and I think diversification is wonderful in this. You know, all the amenities in one place. You know, you got a cyc wall. How big's the cyc wall?
Dude, it's like we intentionally made it large enough to fit a couple vehicles. So it's 50 feet wide. It's 20 feet long on one of the sides, 15 on the other, just because of where the bay door is.
Right.
And then it's about 15 feet high. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the largest one in the region right now.
Yeah, and you got makeup rooms. You got set building areas. You got a big green screen.
Yeah, 20-foot green screen. Plenty of open space for set building. We've built numerous sets already with just a couple, a few commercials that we've done here.
I've seen some of the stuff. It looks stellar. It looks pro, man.
Thanks, man. It was
We can edit that out. Sorry.
Dude, it makes me think about the kind of help that we need. Or we've slowly, again, we've only been open a couple months, but we've slowly started building a list as we get to know folks. So, when these opportunities come up, like, hey, I got a job for you if you're interested.
Right.
Set building or fucking set design or, any other 1,000 positions that there are in film. So.
And you know what? To be the guy, even if you don't do it, you be the first guy that they call, because they're like, well, if he doesn't do it, he'll probably know somebody that does.
Yeah.
And, that's a wonderful person to be in this business.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a sparkle button?
I don't know. I'm afraid to touch him. I actually didn't know that drum thing was going to come up. I thought it was going to be like a...
It's fine, man. We'll experiment with the equipment. It's all new here. So.
That was the wrong button. The green one? The green one.
There's one that they used to... Oh, it's this one.
That was the sound for the cyc wall. That was the biggest one in the region, dude.
Yeah, we were working on editing an audio book that Bob Warden recorded here, and Jacqueline would be in here fucking editing pieces of it, like taking out the ums or spaces and shit.
Right.
And her back would be to the door, and she'd have the headphones on. So as she's sitting there, like, focusing on something, it just... But we turn it all the way up first.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
That's mean. I have these headphones on like this. It's actually nice and nice.
Cozy.
It's cozy. It's good.
It's cozy.
I feel like I'm in a giant jar of honey.
Yeah. It's a little honeyish in here.
It's nice. I think it's good. It's comfortable.
We try to make it so where, like, everybody... And people can come in here and change the color of all the lights and...
I love the lighting here. This is like... I'm an audio guy, so I know nothing about lighting.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things I walk into my studio all the time, and I'm like... When we first moved in, it's these beautiful clouds, but there was a bunch of clip lights up. And they just had a bunch of colored bulbs in them. And it worked. It was fine, but it was pretty bright. And you kind of like... if you really want to set like a good mood for the band, comfortable... something a little bit more dim, homey glow.
Yeah.
Something comfortable.
That's kind of what we were after, too. Like, we still want to get a couple salt lamps in here. Just where, somebody can really set the vibe that's most supportive of whatever their creative process is, I guess.
Okay.
A good way to say it.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the trim along the floor, there's a channel. Our plan is to put LED lighting across the entire channel on the floor.
Shit. That's good planning.
Yeah, we're gonna do the same along the ceiling as well, and then obviously add a lot more. A couple curtains, I think.
I'm going to be stealing ideas off of you as you do this.
Steal them, man.
The thing I did for the clip lights is I just bought like that string light stuff you get at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And like crisscrossed it across the ceiling.
I mean, that still looks good though.
It looks all right. I want to like get some chandeliers. So we have like this.
Like
there's this
shit.
giant like furniture secondhand place called Second Chance.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's a giant warehouse, and they have like furniture. They had you've been to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had, one of the skyline things is there's a big Domino's sugar sign that's lit up.
Yeah.
You see it from the highway as you're coming in. Well, at some point they decided they need to update this thing, so they replaced all the letters with LED. And they can change the color of it. Now it's beautiful. So somehow Second Chance got all the letters.
Nice.
So you walk in there and there's like a 10, 12-foot letter I for sale, with a letter authenticity.
What color is it?
It's just like fluorescent. I think it was like a red or a white. I have to remember.
Awesome,
I got to
man.
look it up.
What was the name of the place?
Domino's Sugar. They actually don't make Domino's Sugar there anymore.
Domino's
I think the city pays to keep the light on because it's part of the skyline of Charm City. Charm City.
Dude, when you go back up there, or next time you're in there, if they have the letter O, let me know how much it is.
Yeah? Okay. I think, I want to say like the letter I, or one of the, like when it first like popped up, I was like, hold on, I'm going to go look at this. And like,
Yeah.
And it was something like $1,200. I don't think it was that much.
What is it? Domino Sugar?
Domino's Sugar. Yeah.
Domino Sugar.
Yeah. It was a big like rectangle sign, and it was the logo for the packets of sugar.
Right.
Domino's Sugar. But I mean, it's random shit like that. There was an elevator for sale in there.
That's fucking awesome.
Out of an old house. They'll demo at
So like a hydraulic one or cable one?
I think it was electric one with a cable.
Oh,
But it was like the sled, the cage, the box.
Damn.
It's all sitting in a pile on the floor.
Just to take you up to the second floor?
Yeah. There's like spiral staircases there. There's archways. There's like big giant stained glass windows out of churches. And then they got a whole room full of like sofas, chairs. There's a whole section that's lighting. So they have
Dude,
chandeliers.
what's the name of this place?
Second Chance.
Second Chance, man.
Dude,
Okay, we gotta check that out one.
10 minutes from Orion. I'll walk around there with you. You gotta at least put an hour aside. The place is fucking huge.
Okay.
Reclaimed lumber. You can buy 2x4s there. Old wood flooring. They had like Maryland State College. I think they redid the basketball court. So they got a hold of the side of the basketball court that said Maryland on it.
That's fucking cool.
I think it's up on the wall.
Okay.
But I got the marquee from the Civic Center in Philly.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of stuff. And then, treadmills.
They got a lot of like smaller places like that around here, but all the good shit gets picked clean like really fast.
There's a couple of restores around the city, but Second Chance is by far the biggest one I've ever been to. It's huge.
We're going to check that place out.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the Horseshoe Casino.
Now, you've been to the Foundry here in town, right?
Once, yeah.
You got to check it out more, man, because they got a lot of cool-ass shit in there.
Yeah, Dale took me through there. We bought some records. Bought a good Johnny Cash album on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I think I got Def Leppard Hysteria on cassette tape for $14 for a cassette tape.
$14 for a cassette.
And I was like, because some place wanted like $25, and I'm like, dude, I am not paying $25 for a cassette, but I do want this album. But yeah. So I got Hysteria.
I wonder how much a Milli Vanilli cassette tape would cost.
I mean,
you said you got Def Leppard, right?
Yeah, Def Leppard.
I mean, that's still pretty.
I've been collecting
music.
Yeah, I got some really good stuff, man. I got some Almighty Senators. I got some
on cassette.
Yeah,
that's funny, man.
Yeah, Almighty Senators on cassette. Fishbone.
But do you have Belle Biv DeVoe?
I think I do. Well, I don't think the cassettes are good because people just give them to me. When I started, when I was like, I bought a boombox from like BJ's and it had a tape player in it. I'm like, oh, and I went in the basement. I still had a box of tapes and just covered in shit, you know. And I started going through. I'm like, oh man, Van Halen, you know, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, like that album. I was like, oh, I haven't listened to this in years. And yeah, and the whole reason I kept that box around is because I used to have this RX-7 and it had a tape player in it.
That's fucking awesome, man.
So I was like, oh man, Rush, you know.
Yeah.
I had some Dream Theater albums. Real
I'm trying to
shit.
remember what the first cassette tape I ever bought was.
Korn, Follow the Leader.
That was you?
No, it was one of the early ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, oh shit, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
The Snoop Dogg album.
That's the one that comes to mind for me, is Snoop Dogg's like debut album.
Yeah, the one with the comic strip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that whole
Gin and
album is
Juice.
fucking gold, dude.
Yeah. Dude, when that dropped, everybody was going fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. Everybody had it.
Mm-hmm. Everybody became a gangster.
Cypress Hill, Black Sunday.
Cypress Hill, yeah. That's, it's a good one.
Somebody recently gave me a Talking Heads album, a live album.
Those guys were before their time, dude.
Dude, I remember making fun of that Psycho Killer song when I heard it on the radio because I was I was like 13 or something like that, and like I'm playing guitar. Only thing I want to listen to is Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Everything else is like not on. I was like not on the map. Led Zeppelin wasn't heavy enough.
Yeah.
And then like these guys, and I'm like, what is he? He's like, pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You listen to that shit today, though. It's like, oh, these guys are.
Dude,
cool.
it's fucking jamming. It's great. It's absolutely great.
They're ahead of their time, man. I'm telling you, Talking Heads were slept on back in the day.
I mean, they had their crew. But yeah, like I love it now, and maybe part of it's nostalgia, but I really, they are some really good stuff.
My wife, oh no, the light went out. Guess the batteries died on it.
Oh no.
It's fucking amateur hour.
Should we put a light up?
Sure.
Yeah. Cut to a different light?
No, we can keep talking. Well, I guess you can't hear me.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Check 1, 2. Check. Syphilis. Gonorrhea, check. I thought I heard some phasing earlier, but I think it's in the program.
There we go.
Oh, man.
You want to replace it, or?
Is it like screw in?
Yeah, actually, another.
Gotcha. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Did you want?
Great fucking movie, by the way.
Oh man, it's been a while. I haven't watched it.
That was John Candy was at the height of his stardom.
Barf.
Yeah. There we go. Oop.
All right.
We do rent these.
We can continue. So how long is the battery life on this type of light here?
I want to say those will last like up to 8 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And we use them for a couple projects now, actually. Marine Federal Credit Union commercial that we did here. Mm-hmm. We used them on. They're just great all-around lights, man. And the cool thing is you can make them move. You can make the colors change and to the music and whatnot. Or
I love the simplicity.
Yeah.
You know?
They're really versatile, especially with those stands.
My world is an abortion of cables.
An abortion of
cables. Like,
is that like a unit of measurement, like a flock of seagulls or a murder of crows?
there's a term I've heard a lot before called like an RCH when we're talking about mixing stuff. Like when something needs to just come up a little bit.
Yeah.
They'll be like, just turn it up in RCH. Like a red cunt hair. Like 1 or 2 RCHs.
That's thin, man.
Super
thin.
It's very, it's fair.
I saw something, it was a meme online, and it was like, how would you describe groups of different races? I'm not gonna get into it on here. It's just fucking hilarious though. But yeah, I wonder like, what would Filipinos be? We're both Filipino, by the way.
My name's Joey. It's gonna be okay.
What would Filipinos be? A pancit of Filipinos.
I feel like we would just be dancing. Like right now.
A karaoke of Filipinos.
Yeah, they'd be singing and they'd just be dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in Don't Mess with the Zohan, when they had like a disco break every goal.
I think the thing I remember from that show is that he dipped everything in fucking hummus.
He did. He brushed his teeth with hummus.
I mean,
He's like, I want to cut hair.
I
His parents are like, yo, a fagula?
love some fucking hummus, man.
I like hummus too.
I don't know if I brush my teeth with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe if it was spearmint.
I mean, I feel like it would work well because it's,
It's pasty.
yeah, it's
It's natural. You can just make it out of chickpeas and tahini, man.
I mean, has anybody ever
Throw
tried
in
to
some
polish something
spearmint.
with some hummus?
I mean,
It should do. I mean, it would work.
Zohan did.
He probably did.
Very successful, actually.
When he caught the fish in his butt cheeks. That's not like that's one of the scenes that comes to mind when I think about that. He just clenches his butt cheeks.
Was it Adam Sandler or was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But there was a couple other people in it, like Totoro. Right?
Yeah.
What's his first name?
I know who you're talking about, man. Yeah.
He's in the Batman movie.
David Arturo. Is that right?
It paid Carmine Falcone.
God damn, man. What the fuck?
I don't know if it wasn't the
I'm like
Penguin
a
though. It
film
was
dude, and I don't know this. That's so embarrassing.
Dude, ask me anything about Taylor Swift or Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige.
I don't really. I know a lot of stuff about like rock and roll and metal, but pop, it's embarrassing. My wife schools me,
I mean, I'm right there with you, man. This is not making it easy. I'm trying to look it up. Arturo. No, not the movie Arturo.
It's like Danny or Johnny.
I want to say David Arturo.
Well, that sounds good. He could change his name if it's not.
Man, that's completely wrong.
Well, what was it?
I'm just gonna look up the movie
Twilight Batman.
John Turturro. What the fuck? John Turturro.
He's a great actor. Anger management.
What were we saying? Arturo.
Probably.
I'm sorry, John.
It's all right.
Sorry, man.
I did the whole thing. Like me and Dale were making fun of. We were making fun of Big Trouble in Little China while we were in San Diego for like 4 days.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah. And what were we saying? It was. It's when he's calling him on the phone, and he's like, "We are Flaming Dragon." You remember that scene? And I forgot what we were saying, but it was wrong. Red Dragon. I think I was saying, "We are Red Dragon." It was no. It wasn't that. It was Tropic Thunder.
Another good film.
Yes. Tropic Thunder. They had Ben Stiller, and he was trying to call for ransom, and it was that little kid. Yeah, he was like, "We are Flaming Dragon."
Okay, Flaming Dragon.
Dude, I barely read. So I feel like the camera shut off and we lost a lot of gold there. But
Oh, no.
yeah, we're talking about Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Missing phrases.
That's great. It cut out when we were talking about John Turturro. So
You hope.
I know.
You can edit it out.
Yeah. Nothing bad, John.
I need to get away from
Nothing
that
bad.
thing.
We were getting your name wrong. Was all. The fuck were we talking about? Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the whole dragon thing. Anytime I think about dragons and movies, I always go back to The Last Dragon. You know that one with fucking Shogun of Harlem?
Hold on, I know this movie.
Who's the meanest? Who's the baddest mofo in all Hollywood?
Oh,
Shogun.
What's the name of the movie?
The Last Dragon. It's
The Last Dragon.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's Bruce Leroy.
Yes.
And then he starts glowing.
It's the fortune cookies.
Yeah, sukiyaki hot sake soup. Sake to me. Sake to yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the one.
You know, I never saw that movie until about 5 years ago.
Dude. Awesome.
I'm like, oh my God. I talked to Jim about it, and he's like, I love that movie. Like, think of Jim. Jim
Actually,
loves
I
that
think
movie.
me and Jim watched that about 50 times.
Really?
Well, no.
It was like you're half
It would
baked.
probably be 20 times because I've watched Ninja 3, The Domination, over 50 times.
Okay.
But, yeah, so it definitely did not outdo that one.
See, that's my Big Trouble in Little China, and then the Batman, Michael Keaton, Batman, with Jack Nicholson, the Joker.
Which Batman was it where they made the costume, like the neck had no flex? So Batman's in the Batwing and he just does the whole...
I think that's Michael Keaton. Yeah. That's what everybody says. I don't know. I grew up with it. I love that movie. I used to, when I first moved to the city, I have this thing where, like, I don't like it when it's quiet.
Yeah.
And I had the TV on, but at that time, I fixed TVs. I was, like, in-home TV repair for, like, a couple of years. So, like, I didn't have cable. I didn't have TV. I had DVDs and had a bunch of big screen TVs that I got for free, throughout working on TVs.
Yeah.
So I would put a movie on loop and would just play it in the background. I wouldn't pay any attention to it. It was just literally, noise floor. And I had a roommate, and, like, it drove him nuts. He's like, dude, you've been watching this movie for a fucking month. And I'm like, yeah, He's like, put something else on. I'm like, no.
Princess Bride.
Yeah, Princess Bride's a good one. But that's a very good movie. But yeah, Big Trouble in Little China, and then the Batman. Oh, Road Warrior, Mad Max 2.
Is that the one with Tina Turner?
No, that's Thunderdome. That was the one after.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that's Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
And then the humongous, and then the people in white with the...
Yeah.
and
That's a classic.
The guy in the little helicopter thing.
What do you think about the new Mad Max franchises?
They're really good.
Furiosa?
They're really
I haven't
good.
seen the latest one.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was good. It was really good. They're intense. It's an action flick front to back.
Yeah.
There is a lot of CGI, and it's
saw-
nice to go back and watch some of these old movies before all that shit.
Yeah, where
And,
they
like-
did a lot of the effects practical.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, accidents. Like, there's a scene in Mad Max 2 where, like, towards the end when they're chasing the truck, and, like, he runs one of the guys off the road, and he's supposed to crash, and he's supposed to clear this other accident that the car crashes into. But when it happens, there was a little bit of dust in the air, so he couldn't see well enough, and he hit it wrong.
Oh shit.
So when he launched to go over this car, his feet clipped it, and he went into this spin, which is what made it into the final shot. But it was not supposed to go that way. And he had to go to the hospital, and
So it's not a happy little accident.
well, so the story is that because he's a stunt guy,
Yeah.
and like it looks bad when you watch this scene, but they take him in, and what had happened like a few months or weeks before or whatever, he fucking broke his leg or his hip or something like that, and they put a pin in there, and all it really did was it bent the pin.
God damn.
Right. But I think he was okay, like he could walk. They just like replaced the pin or whatever. There was like some medical article about it.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't seen some weird shit like that before. But yeah, I thought it was just cool. It was like, that's one of those things, like, I don't know if they do that now. They'd probably CGI something, and he would have cleared it, in that. But in this situation, like, it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's an intense shot. I think it's in the behind the scenes footage of the movie.
Wonder, and that's back when they weren't filming shit digitally back then.
No.
So it's kind of like, all right, we get so many takes.
And you can change like gamma and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like you're like, all right, we're using the desert. it's got to be the golden hour for filming. We have this much time. And then, like, you know, Road Warrior, there's tons of costumes, tons of makeup.
I mean, I see the shit that they did, like the behind the scenes they did with the latest one, and it's really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, imagine watching that shit back then.
I mean, I'm not saying the new movies are bad, but I still do. I feel like the old ones aged well.
There's more reliance on story. I mean, that's the difference. Is, you know, a lot of today, especially the franchise shit, is like, okay, well, it's an investment. You know it's going to make money because it's made money before, so there's already an audience. It's not a new idea you have to warm them up to. It's basically guaranteed ticket sales.
It's a safer bet.
Yeah, much safer.
So
for investors
you get bigger budgets then, right? Because I feel like that was.
Yeah,
I know the first one was
get a
very
couple
low
big
budget.
names. Like, you're bound to get ticket sales. So
Right.
So the reliance on like a really good story is just not when these places are just churning movies out.
You know, I never
kinda
thought of
like-
it that way before. That's
Yeah,
really-
it's kind of like an
it's really
assembly
interesting.
line. Like, it's very commercialized. And all right, this is a safe product that we know people like. Let's make a number 2
It's like
or a number
Nickelback.
10. Yeah, Nickelback.
Nickelback. Movies have all turned into Nickelback.
Or Creed.
God.
I think these guys are making a comeback though. Like, divorced dad music is making a comeback.
You know what?
That's what I heard it referred to a few months ago.
Or maybe you said it. I don't know. I just heard that phrase before and it made me laugh. 'Cause-
Divorced dad music. Probably still got the spiky hair and the pop collar.
My stepson is so like I don't know if he's actually into it or he just really loves like tormenting me because he's just sending me all this Creed stuff. I was doing live sound in the city a couple of years ago, kind of like freelancing. There was this club that was around called The Crown, and I would get pulled in like, you know, maybe once, twice a month, run some sound. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to, you know, if they liked how you did sound, you'd be like, well, by the way, we have a recording studio.
Yeah.
Try to get some people into the studio. And I was there one night when I wasn't working, checking out this band, and there was a younger guy running the board and stuff like that, and it was a great show. But like at the end, he just started putting on like all this Creed music, and like he got the whole bar singing along, you know. And I'm just like, oh, it like.
Was it Arms Wide Open?
Yeah, well, it was like 3 different songs, but yeah. I mean, it was like one of those things. We were gonna stick around and like watch the next band, but like after like the 3rd song, you know, and then the 4th one started up, I'm like, dude, I think I'm gonna go get some. There's this really good Korean barbecue place around the corner that was definitely not playing any Creed music. So.
You know, that's what made those guys so popular, though. Nickelback was the same way because they were coming out with banger after banger, which sounds really weird to say that now, but that's because we've already listened to it like 7,000 times.
Well, they did play it quite a bit on the radio. But you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, it was like factory hits. And you'd say the same thing about like 80s hair metal. Right in the end, right before Kurt Cobain dropped on the scene, and Nirvana just completely changed mainstream music like almost overnight.
Yeah.
But like the 80s bands were, you know, very prominent.
I love 80s music.
I mean, it's fun. It's what it is.
It's funny.
But like, it is funny. Steel Panther funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, that was sort of like it was turning into that. And somebody was telling me this. There's this band, Alakazam, and the guitar player and me were talking like in between recording sessions, and he was like, I feel like the last creative era of music, rock and roll, especially, you know, like mainstream rock and roll, was the grunge scene. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
I'd never thought about it like that. But he was like, yeah. He's like,
Except
think
for
about,
rock and roll.
well, think about how experimental the
Yeah.
grunge stuff was. You know, you think about bands that came up during that time that weren't necessarily grunge, like Fishbone, you know, where they're
Yeah.
like, there's like hip hop, there's like ska music, there's metal, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that they're sort of like throwing together. And when you listen to it, like it's really interesting. You know, it's very busy, but
Yeah.
really interesting. And they didn't really, you could tell like they didn't care. You know, they didn't care, like they didn't feel like they needed to conform to a specific sound.
Yeah, and I think when they came out, man, like music really changed for the better.
Yeah, I think it was, and then, the industry got a hold of it and did what it did.
Yeah.
But like when it came out, it changed everything. And there's a lot of 80s bands that like contracts just got fucking axed.
That's true though. There were a lot of bands that, just kind of started sounding like each other.
I feel like
But
that's
I mean,
how
that
it works,
happens every
though.
era.
Well,
in every genre,
I
it's
think
that way.
it's the industry that does it.
Yeah.
Because it's a bunch of guys like investors, just
Safe.
like you said.
Yeah,
Say, all right,
safe
you know
investment.
what? These guys track really good. Here's another band that sounds just like these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's give them a contract, and then we'll get like double the money.
Yeah, because we can market them slightly different.
Right.
It's like,
and then you get,
do you like Nickelback? Well, you'll probably love fucking Creed.
Right.
Or is it the other way around? I don't remember who came first.
Creed came first.
Creed.
Yeah.
Do you like Creed? Do you like Live? Then you'll love Nickelback.
Not if you live in York, PA, you don't.
You don't. Yeah. It was funny, man. When I was living up there, it was always like, yeah, man, live records, like right down the road in York. But
They were big, man.
everybody in Hanover was kind of like, yeah.
You know why, though, right?
No.
So they got really big, of course. And then they kind of like plateaued.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when like a big band like sort of does that, they sort of go back down to their roots, their hometown, and try to set up shop and start again.
Yeah.
Maybe reform or change the sound a little bit, but go back home where it's good, safe shows. You go all nice, good local crowds.
Yeah, the folks that supported you in the beginning.
Right. Except they did this song called Shit Town that was all about York, PA.
Oh.
Where they just shit all over York. So they came back to York, and York was like,
Fuck you.
go fuck yourself.
Not a whale's vagina. Fuck you, Ron Burgundy. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's...
I imagine they were probably at the height of their popularity when they made that.
I think it was on, like, one of their big albums. I can't remember
Yeah,
anymore.
man, I guess, speak your truth, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that the moral of the story is always be nice. Because you never know when, it can come back around.
I agree.
I'm
kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats kind of person.
You're a good guy to work with.
Thanks,
I mean, I've
man.
never worked with you on a project, but I've known you for quite a while.
We need to change that.
I'd be down.
And we have like sister studios.
Right. You could fly files back and forth through the internet.
Could.
On the cloud.
Via drone.
Carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon.
Drone carrier.
Raven. A crow.
A crow.
Dude, what the
trained
fuck?
fucking
Why
crow.
wasn't that the first thought? God damn, I'm failing the company. There's a theme here.
The crow would be an excellent choice.
Yeah.
I'd send a raven, and you'd send a crow.
We actually have a thing that we do out back where we feed the crows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we built a little stand, and so we were walking back there and putting it on the stand just to kind of try to keep them away from the building, but they didn't give a fuck. They would just...
What do they eat?
Well, we'd throw like peanuts and shit out there, but like anytime they left something, we'd give them some meat.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to train them into bringing us money. So, if they leave like a penny or something.
Right.
So if they leave something shiny or something paper, like we give them a little bit of meat. But if they bring like a coin, they get a little more meat. And if they bring like paper money, they get a lot of meat.
Just slaughter a lamb.
I mean,
for the crows.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, because they're highly intelligent.
They are. You can actually train them to torment your enemies. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's maybe I'll release the how-to on this podcast.
Tune in next week.
Yeah. How to train crows to torment your enemies.
I have one more funny story.
Surgeon.
I used to work at this place called Speakeasy Vintage Music.
Yeah.
I worked on like Hammonds and lots of electric pianos and Wurlitzers and just all kinds of cool stuff. And we had this guy working in there, and he was his name was Craig, really cool guy. But he had this neighbor he didn't like, that lived across the street, slightly downhill. Mm-hmm. And he had a lot of like chipmunks in his yard. And like, they're just getting into stuff. Just, chipmunks are, when you get a lot of them around, they can really mess some shit up,
With their chubby cheeks.
Yeah. He had this big, like, PVC pipe in his yard. Like, it's probably like
Is this going where
10
I think
feet
it's
long.
going?
So he had it sitting out. So like his kitchen faced the rear of his yard.
Yeah.
He could like do dishes and stuff. So he'd be like doing dishes and, watch outside, see what's going on. And a chipmunk would like run into the pipe. And he had it timed where he'd figure he would be about halfway. And he'd run out and he'd grab the pipe and he'd go like this. He'd fling the chipmunk across the street onto the neighbor's roof. The neighbor didn't know what the fuck was happening. There's all these dead chipmunks.
Oh, they would die when they hit the roof?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's sad.
But
But for a split second, the chipmunk's like, what's happening? Doesn't know what the hell's going on.
probably, yeah.
Oh, man, I almost feel bad laughing about that.
I know. I kind of, maybe I shouldn't have shared that story. I didn't do this. I heard about it.
Well, it's not far from where I thought it was going, because it was making me think of that dude that had the fucking squirrel launcher thing on his porch.
Like a potato gun type thing?
No, it was a platform, and when a squirrel would get, and it was spring loaded.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, it was kind of like
almost
like a skeet
catapult.
shooter. Yeah, and he'd fucking clip it, and a squirrel would go in there and he'd eat like a piece of corn and just gone. But that shit would look funny as hell.
I mean,
I hope the squirrel didn't get hurt.
cartoon stuff. He didn't. He just got right back up,
Yeah.
and then he pulled the double yellow line off the road, and the coyote ran into the wall.
Yeah. Well, man, 3 songs. If you were to tell people to listen to 3 songs, what would they be?
That's good.
Let me know if that's a dumb question. I'm trying to.
That's
think
not
of
a dumb
bullshit to
question.
ask people.
I will give you 3 bands to listen to.
Okay.
Local Baltimore bands.
Awesome. Even better.
Yeah. Or if you like some death metal, we love Dying Fetus. It's pretty heavy.
Nice.
They're a bunch of very, very nice guys. The heavier the music, the more polite the person.
I found that. Yeah.
Yeah. They're wonderful. There's a band called Nub, Knub. They're awesome, very heavy, hardcore, like some elements of Helmet from the 90s in there.
Okay.
Singer is just like this persona that is like fucking.
It's got good presence.
I mean, it just like can handle the crowd,
That's awesome.
like palm of his hand, just
In
good
his nub.
good power, just in the nub of his
In the
hand.
nub of his.
Nub in the nub.
In the nub. Guess hands can have nubs.
Right.
So you got like short, fat fingers. It'd be like nubs.
And indie bands. There's a band called Gay Baseball. It's actually a lot of fun.
Gay baseball's a lot of fun.
They are. They're great. And there are 3 local bands to Orion Studios.
Hell yeah.
Great music, lots of different stuff.
Well, we'll try to we'll tag them
Okay.
on any social media posts with this podcast, and on the thing we'll put a link to where people can find them,
Okay. Yeah.
as well as your studio,
Oh yeah. you can find
Orion
it.
Studios,
We're around.
biggest studio in Baltimore.
30 years old. It's 30-year-old anniversary just last October.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for agreeing to.
Thanks for having
Talk,
me, man.
man. Yeah.
This is a lot of fun.
I gotta work on that. That's
Yeah, let's try that again.
yeah,
Around the mic.
good, solid.
Right.
Yeah, because our first guest actually did the same thing, shook hands, and I kind of misjudged the distance. So, it's that awkward moment where it's just kind of a half fish hold.
Just touch nubs.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly.
Just give me some,
So-
yeah, like not nucks, but it's a little.
Fuck yeah. Well, thanks, dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. 10 Crow Studios, the real deal.